When I see stars, I think of you. Then I'll always pray for you. And I know what my heart was made for, to love you forevermore. When I feel you in my heart, then I hear your voice from your eyes. I will always love you, and I'm waiting for you until the end of time. Here I am with you. I hope that someday you will realize that I can see forever in your eyes. And I'm wishing my dream will come true. I am lost without you. You are my everything. Okay. When I feel you in my heart, then I hear your voice from your eyes. Oh, I will always love you, and I'm waiting for you until the end of time. Oh, here I am with you. I hope that someday you will realize that I can see forever in your eyes. And I'm wishing my dream will come true. I am lost without you. You are my everything. Isn't it clear to see you belong with me? We are meant to be in love eternally. My love, here I am waiting you. I hope that someday you will realize that I can see forever in your eyes. And I'm wishing my dream will come true. I am lost without you. You are my everything.